Let's see how the video quality works this week. Somebody give me a video audio check when you get a chance. The copper nitrate I haven't worried about recovering yet, although theoretically we can turn that back into nitric acid and copper. But the silver is easy. Once you've used up your acid where it's not very active anymore, just drop some copper in there. Hi, James West. Oh, well, at least the video seems to be doing okay this week. Wow, I even got the camera pointed pretty darn close. Wow. Shocking. Oh. Yeah, if you're trying to get a bunch of different things that's different from just, hey, all I really care about is the gold. It is pretty bizarre, James, but we'll worry about talking about that later once we've done all the other stuff. But yeah, it's been very distracting over the last week, just trying to keep track of the reports, etc., and then comparing them to where I can to kind of like irrefutable data. Anyhow, hey JPL. Oh, so anyhow, the boys. Well, Jared came back last weekend, and he's apparently been very busy. I just haven't really gotten any communications at all for the last week or so. So I'm kind of out here in limbo, not sure what the plan is. So I'm just kind of sitting around a little bit, watching the computer, etc., which is okay. Yeah, at least say it's an interesting news time. But yeah, I prefer to have some more specific targeting from the laboratory. I really want to get going on the roaster concept, but I'm going to have to figure out how I want to do it. I was just thinking now on the bottom of the main thing here, I just took a big torch burner from Harbor Freight and just kind of put it in at the bottom there and just shot it up. That might work pretty well. Yeah. Yeah. Do you roast with salt? No. I'm not trying a saline roast. I'm just trying to get rid of all the other crap. I'm not sure how well a saline roast would work in a fluidized bed sort of deal. I think if it was in a tray bed, it would work just fine. Does anyone know, does the saline roast turn the gold into gold chloride? It's a good question. Let me write that down. That's a good question, because if I did a saline roast, the gold chloride should be pretty soluble. Don't know how easily it is to recover. And the silver chloride would be soluble in a thiosulfate solution. Interesting. Interesting, honey bunny. With steam, huh? Interesting. Oh well. Say one more thing to research a bit. Uh, that's a thank you for bringing that up because that would possibly make a lot of sense in our particular case. Um, anyhow, um, say that experiment I showed is pretty much all I've done this week. Of course, when you take a look at something like that, it's basically 3 days of effort because I got, well, in this case, almost four. Got to roast the sulfides, which takes me a couple hours to get 200 grams. It's a pretty slow method doing what I'm doing. And hey, wage slave. And then takes 2 days of digestion to get everything dissolved. Then I did the electroplating thing, which was 12 hours, which didn't work out too well. But I was kind of an idiot because when I went to bed, the solution was a little bit cloudy. When I got up, it was clear with sludge on the bottom. I just kind of assumed they'd kind of agglomerated, but I shouldn't have assumed that. I should have taken that and smelted it separately. Yeah, Gene, I've heard about it a long time ago, but I'd forgotten about it. That's why it's good for me to listen from all directions here. So, anyhow, yeah, the sulfides. Say we can eliminate the sulfides by simple roasting, but that doesn't get the gold into a chloride. You know, probably convert the gold to chloride and then either directly electrowin or do a resin absorption on that. The silver chloride is insoluble, so um, it should wind up in the sludge, which then you could then, after rinsing with fresh water, throw a thiosulfate solution on, which would get the silver. Probably, honey bunny. My memory is getting rather disconcerting, but so far the specialists can't find anything in particular. I'm not happy, but oh well. That would be my thought, honey bunny. But I say my thought is you probably have to do it more of in a bed or a closed chamber or something. I don't know. I just don't know. If you fed a mixture of salt and sulfides into my vertical flash roaster, it might work fine. I don't know. So I just really don't know. But that's an interesting thought. I'll do a little more research on it and see. But I'd really like to get a little contact to know know what's going on here. Well, define pretty hot reaction, honey bunny. I mean, is it exothermic? And if so, what temperature do you have to run at? Well, chloride roasting basically means you add salt to the sulfides, heat it really hot, and the sulfides become chlorides. Okay, the chlorine replaces the sulfur, and so all of these sulfur compounds that the metals are in suddenly became chloride compound, and most chloride compounds tend to be pretty soluble, like iron Iron chloride, pretty soluble. Iron sulfide, not so much. Gold chloride, soluble. you know, gold in sulfide, or I don't know about a gold. So I never heard about gold actually chemically combining as a sulfide. But that's the purpose. Is you now change the way all these things behave, and then by changing the environment they're in, you can theoretically selectively separate them. That's the basic concept. And salt is, of course, quite cheap, so it's easy to do. Say, do you know if it's an exothermic reaction, honey bunny? Because if it was, it would probably work pretty good in this roaster. If it was seriously endothermic, it might not. I just don't know. Hello, Shane. Eva continues to do okay. Weather, we actually have snow on the ground for like the first time this winter practically. But the temperature is above freezing right now. It's melting pretty fast. Endothermic? Okay. I can find out easy enough. It's also theoretically possible, honey bunny, that if you carefully regulated the amount of salt that you mixed with the sulfides, you might get kind of a selective conversion, you know? Yeah, that would be my concern there too, Gene, is the gold chloride tends to be pretty volatile, especially in the process, in the presence of iron sulfide. Wow. 1200 Fahrenheit. Yeah. Yeah, it's been a very dry winter, and that's not ideal for many certains. 80s the rest of the week in Denver. It's supposed to get up in the mid 60s over here. So anyhow, it'll be an interesting experiment to try. But again, right now I'm really just because I got absolutely no instructions. I know that they were in the middle of some important stuff that would likely take their attention and pretty substantial, and justifiably so. But if we're on hiatus, I would like to know. Anyhow, let me just look at something. Yep, still haven't received an email. Another thing I was looking at doing as a possibility was, as I do these fire assays of the resin, I wind up with these little beads. Now, those beads are a little bit, hello, Dr. Cortex. These beads are awfully small, and I don't have the instrumentation to really weigh them carefully, etc. So my thought was to take beads and send them off to my fire assay, Lawrence Hiddle, and have him weigh them in quart silver and then part them and give me the numbers. Because one thing I can measure with precision is the diameter. You know, with my microscope, I can measure that. So I asked him about that. He said it would cost like $30 per bead, which seems plausible to me. It's going to be a lot of labor involved there, but it's the kind of thing that it does it's the same sort of stuff he does anyway, normally with a regular sample. It's just a little bit different. And so, and as such, the ability to, if I send him a number of beads from different processes and he sends me back how much gold, how much silver and stuff, then I could set up a chart to, okay, if this is the process we're doing, and this is the size bead, it's got about this much in it. And that would be pretty good. Oil up there in the mountains, not over here, but you go that way about 500 miles and there's a lot of it. The Bakken oil field, stuff like other side of the state. A lot of oil in eastern Montana and just east of there into North Dakota and such. You have lots of, there's also some pretty big coal beds in that neck of the woods. Have lots of energy over there. And I don't know what's going to happen to the wheat crop this year with as little snow as we got. I don't know how much is winter wheat, how much is irrigated wheat. But I see a lot of wheat up by like Great Falls that's not irrigated, And so I'm sure the farmers aren't super excited about this, but I don't know exactly what they do. Winter wheat, I think you plant in the fall, gets rain, starts to grow, gets cold, dies off, but it's partly grown. So in the spring, it'll sprout right up. I don't know if we're far enough north that's what they use here. Just don't know. But as I say, it's one of those things that really dry winter. Now, we just got a couple days ago like 12 inches of snow. And that'll soak in well because it, that's equivalent of what, 1.25 inches of water. So it'll have plenty of ability to soak in, and that's good. And I don't know if we have near enough. I don't know. Let's see what we got here. I don't know what happens. I know it used to. Let's see. Open link in a new tab. Okay. Security check required. What? Oh, I see. It's just a map of Turkey. Sorry. But yeah. So say it's one of those things that we'll see what happens. Don't know again what we're going to be doing precisely this spring and summer. It's pretty much up in the air, which is kind of annoying to me. I got one more little chore I have to do across the street, scheduled for tomorrow. There's some time constraints that are useful. We're going to try and get that done tomorrow evening. And then, probably Wednesday, I'll see about doing day labor, make a little extra money. We'll see what happens. So we'll see what happens. But I really don't have much to do experiment-wise. I suppose I kind of hate to set up experiments with thiosulfate leaching and stuff because the stuff I have from Nicaragua has a lot of sulfides in it, which is going to complicate everything. I may see about going out to the mill site and trying to grab a large sample of the stuff's like at the bottom of the Stutenroth and that sort of thing, and blend it and go from there. Oh, and Coulter Young from Mining Magnets called me last week, he had someone, I guess they have wheat that they deal with, but they wanted something where they could split down samples of wheat for analysis. So he sold quite a number of my splitter and wanted to send me a royalty payment on that. And he's because this was the splitter where I recommended some modifications. And he says he made the modification of the design and built them. And so he's also going to send me one of the new splitters, and we'll see how that works out. But yeah, that's interesting. He's also got a project he's involved with where he may want a little bit of help on that. So we'll see what happens there. I'm really not sure. At least Eva's doing better, and we're both in reasonably good shape now. Eva doesn't have the stamina that she used to have because she's just been essentially sitting around getting beat up for the last couple of months. So, well, yeah, I'm going to try and get some day labor with Lauren. The problem is that I'm going to have to get MSHA safety training also, and it's going to be a while before we can get that class lined up. $13.80, huh? And what's the ratio of salt to sulfides, Gene? $13.80F. Mine Safety and Health Administration. The acronym is pronounced MSHA. And this mining thing, got to have extra certification. So we're figuring out how to line that up. He could use some help on some stuff over there. I don't know how much I can help him out in a general sort of way, but there are certain things that I could do that I'm qualified to do by myself, basically, where I could do that while he was doing other stuff. Right now he's supporting a drill crew primarily, and especially with the bad weather, that's been pretty labor intensive. He's been working some long days, so say it would be advantageous to have some help. He's got a lot of stuff he's got to get done this year, so I don't know. I'm worried about his health. It's going to be pushing it really hard, and that just doesn't work out in the long run. But it's going to be a while before I can get that class done, and I'm not even allowed to be on the property until such time as it is done. So there's only so much I can do to help. Well, we're all set up at the day labor place to help with the legalities of when I do work for him. So since I'm set up at the day labor place, might as well see if I can make a little extra money, meet some more people, make some more contacts, that sort of thing. Wow, that's not a whole lot of salt. Okay, so 10 to 20% sodium chloride per sulfide, huh? 10 to 20% NaCl, 2 sulfides. Okay. Thank you, Gene. So I say that's the plan there. And not much else. I need to try and get doing some more testing on the thing. So I need a sample from the mill. for solution testing. Yeah, it'd be nice to have like 50 pounds or something so that I got lots of, you well blend it, split it down, get a thing, then you can just use out of that bucket. And it comes in real handy. For all I know, I may have a bucket of known concentration laying around. We shall see. Anyhow, that's what I've been doing. And that's about it. Anyone else got any questions or subjects they want to discuss here? What do I do for fun? Honestly, I like mining and stuff. However, in the winter, it's kind of limited. I like fishing. And that's something we could do right now because, well, I didn't get much done, honey bunny. Because even though there's snow and stuff like that, the river's open, especially below the dams, which is where I usually go fishing. It's no, never heard of it. I don't do video games, Dr. Cortex. My daughter, who just moved to Colorado Springs, says that there's a lake less than an hour south of her that has lots of walleye. It's like, I like the sound of that. And once the ground warms up, we can take those metal detectors out and give them a thorough workout. That would be good too. But right now, it's awfully hard to go metal detecting when, bing, and the ground's frozen solid. Yeah, that would be good, honey bunny. Yeah, Justin. I say we've got a couple claims. 30 miles from here, less. It's got a creek that runs right through it. Got a load deposit on it also, and it would be great to take the metal detectors out too. It's just the ground's frozen up there still. It just kind of frustrating. It's just one of those times where there's just not a lot to do. Although I could go fishing sometime. That wouldn't be too hard. Did I ever get my license, little one? You gotta get it again. I think you're right. Take a look here. I kind of thought I did, but I don't know. Here's the stuff. See some. I don't think it's the right time. I think it's one of those things. Yeah. Yeah, the license ends like the end of February or something like that. And let's see what I got here. License number 2025. Yeah, it just died 2/28/26. So yep, I got to get another license. Let me put that on my list. That's something I can get done. Thanks for reminding me, all folks. Fishing license. So, I say it's one of those things. I've been, kind of homebound for the winter because of Eva's health issues, but I need to start adjusting my brain to the concept that Eva's no longer, she doesn't need to be watched. There doesn't need to be anyone with her anymore. And we can still go out and do some stuff. How much is a fishing license in Montana? Well, it's not bad if you're a geezer and a resident.
Yeah, I think you pay like what, somewhere around $50 for everything.
I don't even think it's that much since I'm a geezer. Let me take a look. They have what they call a sportsman's package here. And so you get a hunting license, a fishing license, and that also gives you upland game tag, one general elk tag, and one general deer tag.
And don't you get some sort of waterfowl or something on there too?
Not a waterfowl. You get the state waterfowl, but not the waterfowl have a federal license required. Conservation license is $4. Fishing license is $10.50. Aquatic invasive species $2. So it's $16.50 for the fishing license. And I think that's all I got this year. I think maybe we had to buy one because Bonnie was over here and we were going to go fishing. Let's see. Do you hunt at all? I have hunted. I got no problem with hunting. But I just don't go out that much. One thing, when you shoot a deer, it's, work. When you shoot an elk, it's a lot of work. Let me see right here real quick. Montana Sportsman's Package Senior. Resident license fees. Resident license fees. Okay. So if you're just getting a tag, antelope is $14 with a special drawing. Bison's $125 special drawing. Black bear $19 over the counter. Combat disabled antelope $7. Combat disabled deer $5. Deer B, elk B, $10, $20. See, right there, there's an elk B license for $20, drawing and over the counter. General deer $16. Geezer $8. General elk 62 and older $10.
I love it if you actually went hunting again.
Sportsman without bear $32.25. Okay, so that gives you an idea. It's quite reasonable for in-state. Yeah, I've got a couple videos that show us fishing various places. Okay, you take care, Dr. Cortex. And the ducks, that's interesting, wage slave. Waterfowl, I mean, I have a 12 gauge. I've got 2 center fire rifles. I got a 30-06 and a 308. So I know. Also around here, they don't really restrict it too much. Like if you go out with an AR-10 with a 30-round magazine, that's cool. You're hunting deer, not a problem. But anyhow, around here we have a lot of geese, a lot of Canadian geese. I'm not sure how you'd get close enough to shoot them with a 12 gauge where you didn't have houses around. Most places I know, it's like, yeah, they're out there grazing in front of the house. But they are around here, quite a few of them, and that I say I could go big game hunting, but I don't have a freezer. I'd have to go get a freezer if I shot something. Although Lauren says he has some freezer space, but I'd be happy to shoot geese or duck. We got grouse around here. There's a bird called a pine grouse that's known as a fool hen because you scare one up, it'll fly about 30 feet away and rest on a branch over there. It's ridiculous. I have no real knowledge on the Alaskan gold depositions or fields or anything like that. So if you had a specific question about like extraction processes or something, I might be able to help you. But in terms of, what do you think of this particular placer area or load area or whatever? I just really don't know anything about Alaska, Will. When it comes to how to sample it, I can help you. But yeah, I say I've got a lot of capabilities theoretically, but I haven't had a lot of time. Canada geese are not federally protected; they're federally regulated. You have to get a migratory waterfowl license and like that. So there is a they are regulated, but they're not protected in the sense of you can't get them. It's just there's limits and stuff like that. Okay. Matter of fact, I don't know. Turkey. Oh, you can get a turkey tag here. Upland game bird, $5. Yeah, that would be grouse and like that. What was I talking about? Upland bird, wolf, upland game bird. I don't see migratory right here. Anyhow, they also have moose up here too. Too many mallard ducks? That's entirely possible. I'll be happy if there's some place where they're easy to shoot them from shore and catch them. That would be fine with me. We don't have a boat up here either at this point. I'd like to get one. I enjoy, using oars and paddling around while trolling for fish. I enjoy that. It's good exercise, very relaxing for me. Just watching the scenery and cruising around, and then every once in a while the pole will go bendo, and there you go. But I got pheasant, and then the fool hens and all that, the grouse, etc. So I say there's a lot of hunting up here. I don't have anyone I can really hunt with, and I don't know that much. So I went hunting with Jimmy, a year and a half ago, deer hunting, and that was cool. Almost got one. It was a second away from putting one in him when he decided to frolic off. But I'd gotten down to a kneeling position, got the crosshairs just as they were settling on the chest. He took off and let him go. I could have put one in him, but I couldn't have put it in a place where I'd carefully select it. So I just let him go. didn't need one that badly, you know. But it was cool. I had a fun day out there. That was a lot of fun. And Jimmy almost got himself an elk, but I think he left the safety on or something like that. By the time he pulled the trigger, realized what the situation was, got the safety back off, it had managed to get out of the way. I wouldn't be surprised, Jeff. Down up here, we got like a $2 invasive species tag that goes with all this stuff. Hi, Rock. How's it going? Well, I'm sorry, Rock. YouTube doesn't like me. How's things been going with you? Been pretty slow for me this week. Just a little bit of laboratory work, and that's all. I don't drink beer, and I don't have a whole lot of buddies, wage slave. You know? So, I say, how's that weather where you're at, Rock? Looked like it was pretty miserable stuff coming through there the last day or so. Have you been able to get much done this winter? And I haven't heard anything from the boys in a week. Jason just got back, and he told me he was going to be sending the samples out in a day or so, and that's it. Yeah, it sounds like it, Rock. I mean, it looked like it was pretty significant winter storm going on. So you can have good accommodations and travel when you're over there. Yeah, it is nice when they're open when you need to go. You got a 4-wheel drive though, don't you? I mean, where you live and what you do, one would think that a 4-wheel drive would be almost, required. Anyhow, that's about it. The week before, I spent a fair amount of time coaching over the iPad. Yeah, I say, you got a Tundra with studded snow tires, shouldn't be a problem. Oh, anyhow. Oh, yeah. So I've just been spending most of my time trying to keep track of the excitement in the Middle East and trying to figure out the information stream, the dynamics going on, and making my predictions, and seeing how well I'm able to accurately predict what happens before it happens. Hi, Lars. How's it going? From the People's Republic of Los Angeles. I'm not sure of the reference, Rock, myself. Oh, Chat GPT is free, but is it any good?
Chat GPT is delusional.
Yeah. What would be interesting there, Justin, is if there's good areas for metal detecting, that might be interesting. The other would be if you have some heavy rains there, and you got a lot of soil movement. That could get real interesting. Well, the fire won't wash more gold in the creeks, but the lack of protection on the soil certainly could. There's Cutler and Custer. Shane, which one is it? Oh, I say Eva's doing better, and that's good. But I'm getting a little fidgety right now, so I'm gonna have to go get some day labor just to get some exercise. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking, Brian. Why don't you come in and say hi to everybody, little one?
Hi, everybody.
Oh, you can show your face. Goodness.
Hi, everybody.
Everyone's saying hi and thank you. Yeah, I'd really like to try these metal detectors, but yeah, I just, the soil is just not thawed yet. I imagine you running that exact same problem, Rock. Oh yeah, everyone's saying hi and like that little one. Yeah, she's recovered pretty well, Brian. So she's still a little tired, and I don't know if she's self-conscious anymore. She was. The damage the radiation did was significant, and I can understand being self-conscious there. Yeah, Rock. Well, we got two good ones now. I got a Gold Monster and an Excalibur. Traded that MineLab 5000 for him, and so I'm equipped with the detectors now. Custer, huh? Okay, Shane. So say it'll be pretty cool because we got our own claims now too, so we can go up there along the creek and in the bottomland and then on the hillsides. There's an old camp there, and there's got to be a lot of artifacts, nails, and all, cartridge cases and stuff like that. Yeah. Are there gem washing places in your area? Yeah, Brian, there's at least one up there, El Dorado Bar across the Missouri River here that we went to. We got a video on that, and there's another one that's more set up about 80 miles that away. What's his name? Dan Hurd was there last year. Jane says hi. Everybody says hi, little one. But anyhow, there are some around here. It's generally sapphires. Okay. So, yeah, there is gems. There's a lot of minerals and such too. Okay. And go chastise them for me, Rock. Anyhow, so that's the situation there. And we'll get out there when we can, but it'll probably be, I really don't know. I've never worried too much about the frozen ground before, And no, I said chastising. That means to whip. Okay. But anyhow, I'm not sure when the ground generally thaws out, especially as it's up there 1,000 or 2,000 feet in elevation higher than what I'm at here. And so we shall see what we shall see. But I don't know. Yeah, it's kind of frustrated being in a holding pattern. Oh. You able to do anything, Lars? You ever get back to the mine, or are you just doing your rocket scientist stuff? Yeah, the one that Dan Hurd went to was Sapphire down there, kind of southwest of Butte, I believe. It's pretty well set up to take care of the touristy demand. The one we went to over here, they mine sapphires commercially, and the touristy stuff is just kind of a sideline. So, kind of a different situation. This one over here was not very, didn't have a lot of amenities or anything like that, but it worked out okay. And flowering tube onyx. Huh. Never heard of it, Justin. Flowering? Okay, let me take a look here. Flowering tube onyx. ONYX. Very pretty stuff. Yeah, that's really nice. It looks more like an agate to me. Onyx would be a calcium carbonate, I believe. But I say many of the patterns look like agate, but it's pretty colorful stuff. Yep. It might be, but it looks really pretty. Oh, any questions or anything at this point? I'm kind of running out of stuff to talk about because I haven't done squat this week. And I don't have any projects lined up. Hopefully I'll get going on the roaster here. We'll see. The other thing is it's kind of hard. Up here, all I've got is my stick welder. And in earlier years, Lauren, I'd be able to take it to Lauren's shop and he could whack it. Well, that's a roaster. You basically set it up kind of like you would a condenser, a straight condenser. But the jacket is not a cooling jacket. It's a heating jacket. You put a torch, propane torch in the bottom, send the flame up there, and get this tube glowing yellow hot, around 1800 Fahrenheit, 900 centigrade, and then dribble sulfides down there, and they'll be roasted by the time they get to the bottom. Copper wire test. It seems to work okay on the Eco Gold X leach solutions without a problem. And so it seems to be a useful test. It's not real precise. It's not super sensitive, but it gives me actionable intelligence. Yeah, you could also turn the tube on its side and just do a slow rotation, honey bunny. What I was trying to do is eliminate almost all the moving parts. The only moving part would be the feeder itself. And depending on how fast it would roast stuff, you could even take a hopper with a hole in it and just use that as a feeder. Then the other question too is you're going to have a draft going up this tube because it's hot. So you may have to put a valve at the top to throttle it so the roasted material isn't being blown out the top by the draft. So I need to Need to put one together and see how it all works. The idea is take this outer tube and wrap it in like kale wool or something. Roasting cons only. Yeah, Brian, cons only. Yeah. That's it'd be kind of nice to have some if you could grind the sulfides to a reasonable size and dry enough, and the tube, I mean, there's a certain size device that would be big enough that the trickle through a 1/4 inch hole could easily get roasted. I just don't know how big that is, but it should be doable. We'll have to see. The other thing that's going to tend to happen is that pipe is going to tend to get some sulfide stuck to it over time, I would imagine. So you're probably going to have to clean it out from time to time. Either, an auger or like, 12 gauge bore brush, something like that. I don't know. But I don't find out until I get a test article functional. That's but that's kind of my thing right here, because the guys down in South, they're, hydrogen peroxide's not cheap. And so if you can roast it instead, that'll be a lot cheaper than hydrogen peroxide. It's also a lot faster. I mean, it's just done, So we shall see what we shall see. But again, I've gotten no guidance in the last week, so I have no idea. Yeah, there's all kinds of possibilities, Brian. I agree. Me too, honey bunny. I enjoy moving dirt and rock. I don't know what it is, but yeah, it's satisfying in a strange way. It also is really good exercise. Oh, hopefully we'll be able to find nuggets up on our claim up there. That would be cool. Good point, honey bunny. Thank you. Anyhow, I say that's basically where I at. Oh, anyone else got anything to talk about here? Oh, so hopefully I'll get some guidance and they'll say, yeah, go ahead and start working on the roaster. That would be kind of cool. Where's the quartz bedding? I mean, where's the quartz vein? Mr. Virtue? It's there. Mine's just right up there a bit, but I say it's at least 1,000 feet taller than we are here. It's right next to the road, though. Literally, the road goes right over the claim. So, there's so many quartz veins around this area. It's ridiculous. A lot of them have good mineralization too. I say in our case, it's right up there, basically west of us. I'm guessing 20, 25 miles as the crow flies. But I don't know what the elevation is. Let me put my search engine to use. Elevation of Helena. Helena, Montana. Right here, we're at 4,000 feet. Elevation of... What's that town right at the top of the hill, little one? It's not Lewiston. It's... You know what I'm talking about.
Lincoln?
Top of the hill right here. We drive past it every time we go to Missoula. Top of the grade. Down the other side, little town we drive through.
Elliston?
Elliston. There you go. $5,410 feet. So, I say it's about 1,000 feet higher. They have some quartz veins that run for miles and others not. But around here, I don't think you could fire a 30-06 without it crossing several quartz veins, no matter what direction you fired it. You know, as I say, they're just all over the place here. The nearest mine to me that had good grade is right over there, less than a mile. It had 1 ounce to the ton, but it's kind of in a it's a very publicly used area. Over here is the Scratch Gravel Hills, and they've got some mines over there. It's just all over the place. It's just nothing but opportunities around here. So yeah, it's not hard to find a vein around here. Not at all. Up there, it's on our claims, it's supposedly silver and gold and lead and stuff. So we can see that. One thing I don't like about our claim is to get up to the actual adit from the road. It's not very far. It's about 500 or 600 horizontal feet and about 150 or 200 vertical feet. It's a walk just to get right there. Really annoying. Yep. So, as I said, my thought was down there next to the road, get out the metal detectors and have us some fun. We were also looking at getting Eva some waders so she could go in the creek there. And say we shall see what we shall see. But it'd be interesting to see if along the banks of the creek we can get some good targets. Yeah, the problem with frickin' Forest Service land is they want you to leave no trace sort of crap. You know, you have to permit everything. So, pain in the ass. And it's much better to have BLM land than Forest Service land around here. We shall see. I mean, the whole atmosphere may be changing. This creek is pretty small. The trout would probably only be about this big, Mr. Virtue. Well, I presume if you found a good hole or something, they might get up to, I don't know, 10 inches at most, I would think. So we shall see. But anyhow, that's basically what's going on here. Yeah, little teeny things. Well, if anyone doesn't have anything else, I might just call it a night. I'm not really feeling that into it right now, but whatever. Around here, Honey Bunny, they're very persnickety about live bait. If I was to catch minnows up there, I'd have to kill them before I could use them down here. You know? We'll see. I'm going to be doing something the next week or so. If the boys don't call up and get me going on something, I'm going to have to come up with something myself. I get fidgety. It's not good for me. Anyhow, Anyone else got any subjects, questions, or anything like that? Thank you, Jeff. Yeah, we just can't use it around here on anybody. Invasive species and all that. Okay, thank you, David. I'm trying to get some more interesting stuff here. Thank you, Mr. Virtue. We shall see what we shall see. Anyhow, I think I'm going to call it a night. So thanks everybody for showing up. Happy prospecting and keep it safe out there.